Most senior professionals I work with miss the signs that they've outgrown their role because these signs look like success, not stagnation. You're so busy performing that you don't notice that you're performing at the wrong level. But the cost is years in a role that no longer challenges you, compensation that doesn't match your value, and that kind of nagging feeling that you should be further along by now. So in this video, I'm breaking down the 4 unmistakable signs that you've outgrown your current role. These are the signs that most high achievers completely overlook until it's too late. So sign number 1, you're operating above your pay grade, but without the title or the compensation to match. And this looks something like this. So you're solving director level problems while holding a senior manager title. People are bypassing their actual managers to come to you for guidance. You're mentoring people at your same level or even above you. And projects that should be your boss's responsibility keep landing on your desk. I've seen this so many times. Someone essentially doing the job above them, but they've normalized it so completely that they don't even realize it anymore. And the danger here is that you normalize being underpaid and undertitled for the value that you're delivering. And most companies will happily let you perform at the next level indefinitely without promoting you until you force the conversation. Problem is that high performers think that if they just keep delivering excellent work, then the recognition will come naturally. But the truth is, companies promote people who advocate for themselves, not just the people who perform well. The second sign is that you consistently exceed expectations, but it no longer feels challenging for you. So your performance reviews are glowing, but nothing really changes for you. And the work that used to challenge you now just feels really easy and routine. So you're delivering results that delight your boss, but don't really fire you up. And you're anticipating problems and solving them before they escalate. Now, this is the most deceptive sign because it looks like success. You're getting praise, your manager loves you, but internally, you're bored. I worked with a consulting partner who told me his performance reviews had been outstanding for as long as he could remember. And on paper, this looked brilliant. But when we talked about his day-to-day work, he described as kind of like just going through the motions. He could do most of his job in his sleep. The intellectual challenge that had drawn him into consulting in the first place was completely gone. And he told me that he stayed in that role for at least 2 years longer than he should have, and that those are 2 years of his career that he'd never get back. The danger of missing this sign is that high performance becomes your baseline, not your differentiator. So you stay comfortable in a role that you've mastered while your own personal growth stagnates. And years pass where you think, oh, it should be further along by now. And here's what I tell every professional dealing with this. Being really good at your current role is not a strategy for advancement. It's just a really comfortable place to stay stuck. And if you're finding this video helpful so far, I've got something in the description for you that I know will be incredibly valuable for you. Bookmark it now and come back to it when you finish the video. The third sign is that you've built strategic relationships beyond your function. So senior leaders from other departments are asking for your perspective, and you're included in conversations about strategy, not just execution. And you understand how your work connects to the P&L, client retention, and other business priorities. And people outside your immediate team, they know your name and value your input. I think this is actually one of the clearest indicators that you're ready for the next level, because you're already operating with the visibility and strategic thinking of someone more senior. I had a client who was director level in financial services. The CEO would regularly pull him into strategic planning meetings. The rest of the executive committee knew him by name and would ask for input on major initiatives. He had influence across the entire organization, way beyond his department. But his actual role, that was still focused on operational delivery within a single function. So when we mapped out where his influence actually sat versus where his role sat, the gap was enormous. He had the visibility and strategic relationships of someone 1 or 2 levels above him, but he hadn't turned that into a title or compensation increase because he didn't realize how unusual that level of cross-functional influence actually was. The danger here is that you have the visibility and the influence of someone at the next level, but you haven't monetized it with a title or salary increase. So you're building everyone else's credibility while your own position remains unchanged. And the reality here is that you're actually giving away really valuable strategic thinking that should be compensated at a higher level. The fourth sign, and this is maybe the most dangerous one of all, this is where you feel ready, but you keep waiting for the right moment. You catch yourself thinking, I could do my boss's job. You're probably bored, a little bit restless, maybe you're frustrated despite your strong performance. You've been preparing for the next move for months or maybe years, and you know you're ready, but you're just waiting for the perfect conditions or explicit permission. And this is the sign that costs people the most time, because you're not actually waiting to be ready, you're waiting for certainty, and certainty never comes. And I'll be honest, this was me before I left KPMG. I knew I was ready to step away and build something different. I've been thinking about it for over a year, but I kept waiting for the perfect moment, the right financial cushion, the ideal business plan, some kind of sign that it was definitely the right decision. But here's what I eventually realized: that no perfect moment exists for these sorts of decisions. I was waiting for certainty in a decision that required courage. And every month I delayed was another month that I lost in starting my new business. And now I see this pattern constantly with many of the senior leaders who I coach. They're absolutely ready to step up even further. They know it, I know it, and their peers know it, but they're waiting for permission that doesn't come unless you agitate for it. And this is the most difficult sign to deal with, because you convince yourself to wait for the right project, the right timing, or the right level of certainty. And it sounds rational and plausible. But meanwhile, less qualified people who trust their instinct make the move that you've been delaying. The hard truth is, it's unlikely your boss is going to tap you on the shoulder. The perfect moment won't just announce itself. So if you're telling yourself that you're just getting ready, you're most likely already ready. You're just afraid to claim it. So let me bring this together. Here's the cost of missing these signs. You stay stuck in a role that no longer challenges you. You keep performing excellently at a level you've already mastered. You build influence and visibility, but without turning it into advancement for yourself. And you wait for permission that's never going to come. But here's what happens when you recognize these 4 signs. You stop normalizing being underpaid for your contribution. You start advocating for yourself, not just performing well. And you monetize the visibility and influence that you've already built. And you make the move when you're ready, not when it's perfect. The reality is that most senior professionals outgrow their roles 12 to 18 months before they actually make a move, or start to even think about making a move. They see the signs, but they convince themselves they're not ready yet, or they wait for their company to recognize their value. But most companies promote people who claim what they're ready for, not people who wait to be noticed. So if you're seeing these 4 signs, you're not preparing for the next level, you're already operating at it. The only question is whether you're going to claim it or keep on waiting. Now, if you're seeing these signs and you're ready to stop waiting and start making that bold move, you don't need more preparation, you need a clear strategy. But recognizing you've outgrown your role is only the first step. The real question is then, how do you actually make that big move, the one that leads to a major promotion or a significant new opportunity? So watch this video next, where I show you exactly how to make your next big career move with confidence, with a strategic framework that I use with my clients to turn readiness into real results.